It's very important that the Powys War Memorial Project was set up.
The Powys War Memorial Project has been excellent for all communities in Powys that have taken advantage of the grant funding.
It has been funded in the main by the Heritage Lottery Fund, but also by Powys County Council, by Cadw and by the Brecon Beacons National Park Authority.
It's a good thing for the county because there was a lot of losses in this area in World War I.
Dwi'n meddwl bod o'n bwysig bod y genhedlaeth nesaf yn gwybod am yr aberth yna ac yn dysgu y stori y dynion yma trwy cadw'r cyfeben fyw at y dyfodol.
When you look at a war memorial and you see the names, it actually brings it a little bit more into reality that those are people that actually lost their lives.
And it's good to see the memorials up and in a fit and proper state and not falling into disrepair.
It's been an excellent project. A great deal of work has been done on many war memorials throughout the county.
It's restoring all of our memorials, our scrolls, for posterity, so that our children and their children can learn and never ever forget what these people did for us.
I think letting them decay and erode is disrespectful. We need reminding that this is an incredibly important period that we went through, and recognition of those people who were involved and suffered and died for it.
The Powys War Memorial Project were incredibly fortunate to get the funding that they did. I believe only 2 counties in the country attracted or applied and attracted this funding, and it just means that they're able to conserve the war memorial heritage around the county.
I think the project's excellent, really, to provide funding for those of us who really do want to carry out project work, want to restore the war memorials in our own communities. It's vitally important to all our communities in the area.
We're keeping the history alive, and we must never forget these names, these people that gave the ultimate sacrifice for their community, for their country.
The Roll of Honour is very special because it's not only the people that died that are on that roll, but also the people that just went and actually came back, whether they were missing, whether they were ill, or whether they'd been wounded. They were people that that lived through the war and came home, as well as the ones that died. The scroll itself was in a very, very poor state. It had got water damage, it had tears, and it had a lot of insect bites all around the edges of it, so it'd been nibbled away. But we were hoping that with our help and with the help from the Powys Memorial Fund, we would be able to restore it to virtually its original state. We're absolutely over the moon with the way that it's turned out. When we saw it, we couldn't believe the beauty of the scroll, and we had a grand opening where the Mayor and the Town Council, the County Council, and lots of local dignitaries came, and we had an unveiling.
But it's thanks to these people that we're still here, we're still enjoying the life that we live today. And we owe these people an awful lot, and the least we can do is preserve their names and honour them, the ones that came back and the ones that didn't come back.
Our war memorial on the Grow Park, which is shortly going to be restored with a grant from the Powys War Memorial Project. That's going to be done very shortly, and we're very much looking forward to seeing that when it's been restored.
The Powys War Memorials Project has given the impetus, the drive, the structure to give recognition to these things and provide the funding. If memorials like this are being repaired, then it is really important to do analysis of the stone, do analysis of the mortars, to assess the condition of it, and then identify the correct replacement material that's appropriate for that particular structure. So at Timau we'll actually take materials, we'll do dissolution analysis on it, we'll identify the aggregates, we'll identify the the binders in it, and then we'll make a sympathetic replacement material.
What we're going to be doing on the War Memorial today with the volunteers that are kindly giving their time, we're going to give a sensitive general clean down of the memorial Following guidelines set out by CADU, we're not going to be using chemicals, corrosive chemicals such as acid or bleaches, which is a no-no now on our war memorials. This is granite and we must treat it carefully. Basically, the main thing is elbow grease is needed with this project. So that's what we're going to be working on today, is, as I say, the general cleaning down, which will help stop a build-up of grime on the memorial. If these memorials are done, say, twice a year, nice general clean down, you will never have extensive restoration work to do on them. Each memorial must be looked at individually to see the way that we approach the cleaning of it, and once again, following the guidelines set out with conservation, it's all down to gentle, sympathetic cleaning of the memorial, be it granite, sandstone or limestone.
Well, there's quite a lot of work really, because we've removed the old paving and we've also removed the grass edge that was around the memorial, and we've created a good sub base, and we're restoring the paved area then with Welsh flagstones. We're also bringing in a specialist monumental stonemason in order to clean the structure itself, re-letter as well, so there's more prominence there, and then there's railings to the rear which will be cleaned up and repainted in order to give it the prominence it deserves.
We thank the Powys Memorial Fund for actually renovating these memorials for the future generation.
I think the Powys War Memorial Fund is very important for towns through Powys, because obviously rather than people cleaning the memorials themselves, it does a professional job. The memorial at the moment just sort of blends into the background, and if it's cleaned up professionally, obviously it's going to stand out and people are going to notice it.
So for the past few years we've worked on projects for the Powys War Memorial Project. War memorials are made from a wide range of materials, whether it's metals or timber or different stone types, and all the different materials have their own differing decay mechanisms and techniques for their restoration or conservation. For war memorials, the different stone types in particular is really on a case-by-case basis. So the very basic for cleaning stone of any type really, always start from top to bottom. Just use water, don't use fairy liquid we've seen, or dairy bleach, which has no place on historic buildings and monuments and can leave harmful residues and a legacy which we often have to deal with. So just keep it really simple. If you're not sure, then get in touch with a professional to get proper advice about what to do. But crucially, that means that they can attract funding from the national conservation bodies.
I anticipate that the results of it being cleaned and restored so that people can see the lettering properly now, I think will be brilliant within the town, and particularly with the youngsters.
I think it's very important to keep the memorial looking really as well as it can do, to show respect for the people who gave their lives in both wars from the area.
I'm delighted that the Powys War Memorial Project exists, because, as we say at 11 o'clock on November the 11th every year, lest we forget.